SPYR.
Welcome back to Starting Now. I'm your host, Jeff Sarris. This is the show where I talk to entrepreneurs to reveal the unexpected paths to where they are today. Today, my guest is Samir, better known as Plushy. I'm slowing down now because I know I'm not pronouncing his name as I should. He pronounces it in the correct way in the episode, so I am so sorry, Plushy. But Plushy is amazing. He has done so much as a content creator, as a host on TV shows, on all these things, but we got to know each other in Web3. He didn't use any of that stuff to sort of make his name. What he used was his just innate, what is even the word? What's the word that I'm going for? He's just genuine, right? Like, he's such a genuine person.
Yeah, his intuition and inner creativity, I would say.
Yeah, and like, he's just someone that we connected early. He's always around. He's someone that everyone knows in the space because he's so genuine and real and helpful, and he's also extremely talented. I mean, this was a great conversation. I don't want to do too much preamble, but
it's really good.
Yeah. Without further ado, my conversation with Plushy and the Subsistem NFT project. Well, first, which of your cats is that on your mic? Is that one of your cats?
Right. Yeah, that is actually a Muse.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot the sticker was there. Muse, are you here? Mickey. I thought she was here. There's only like one cat over here that I'm trying to avoid not stepping on.
Is that Soba?
That is Soba. Oh, you remember the names. Let me take a picture real quick.
Oh, I love cats.
Oh my God, my carpet is terrible. Oh my God, yeah, this rug is but this is Soba, and he's right here.
Oh my goodness.
You just want to shove your face in it and be like, oh,
yeah. How old are they?
Soba is a year, almost 2 years actually. Next month or 2 months from now, it's going to be 2 years old. Yeah,
nice.
And then Muse is a solid 6.
Oh, nice.
6 years old.
Yeah, super cute. I love the photo with the sushi. Like, I think it was Soba just like, please.
Yeah. He didn't get any. He did not get any. Sushi is damn expensive, cat. And also, my cats get like quality cat food. So this guy doesn't have anything to complain about. Like, he can show me his belly all that he wants. He's not getting extra food. No way.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
No. Go for it. What are you thinking about?
Oh, so I was thinking about like getting a third cat involved, but then I was like, you know what? 2 cats is more than enough for now. Maybe like because I kind of want a white one, like a super snowy white one. But that's just the crazy cat person in me trying to take the stage.
No, I like it. I mean, I love cats. Like, unfortunately, I don't have a cat currently because mine earlier this year went, but not to make it sort of go down that path. But like, yeah, I love cats. So every time you post them, it's just like, just puts the biggest smile on my face, and they're both super cute cats too. And it's hard not to get more. Like, I've always been like a 1 cat person. Like, I've had 2 like as an adult, but they were both on their own solo at the time. But yeah, there's something about cats. They're so smart. They're way smarter than I feel like people give them credit for.
Right. Yeah. And I've been my mom always told me that I was allergic to cats, and I was like, but I want a cat. So I never got any interaction with cats during my childhood. And this feels like I'm at the psychiatrist or something. So during my childhood, I had a total absence of cats. So the moment I started living at my own place, I got a cat, and it was glorious because I didn't feel any type of like a stuffed nosy feeling or something like that, or an allergic reaction or something. She was perfect. That's Muse. Are you here? No. Okay, never mind. And yeah, ever since, she's my best buddy.
Yeah,
I love her to death.
So, did your mom just not like cats? Do you think that was maybe a little way of doing it?
I don't know. I think my mom was maybe thinking that a lot of people in the family had this family trait where they were allergic to dogs and cats, and maybe she thought she saw me breathe heavily at some point. I am allergic to feathers. Like if there's a like one single feather in my pillow, then I'm gonna have a stuffed nose, and my eyes are gonna be like, I can't see shit, But I think she thought it, but turns out she wasn't super right. But whatever,
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame her for it. She was trying to protect me or whatever.
For sure.
But and now I appreciate cats and all sorts of animals even more.
Definitely. So I am always in awe of your space. It is so beautiful. I love all the lighting, how you do it, like, because you have multiple, like a couple setups in your room, because the room's not very big, right? If I'm not mistaken.
The room's pretty tiny. Yeah, it's not the biggest studio. I mean, it's the biggest studio I've ever had because it's my very first one. But it is pretty tiny. And the screen that you see in the back, by the way, is a work in progress that should be on when I'm recording new videos, because I'm planning on making a new channel regarding some of the stuff that I'm working on right now.
Yeah, which we'll definitely dive into.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's a little bit empty on the screen in the back situation. But yeah, this is the crown jewel of this entire studio, like a hand painted Super Mario Bros. 3 mural. Kudos to my girlfriend. Thank you, girlfriend. She's upstairs currently.
Oh, so she
working.
painted it?
Yeah, she hand painted it.
That's amazing. Yeah, like I didn't know if it was one of the what do they even call it? Almost like a car wrap, like the label that goes on the wall, because it looks amazing.
Right? Yeah. But I mean, when you look at it up close, you're gonna see like a few lines that aren't like super straight. But I mean,
well, also it's the human touch that makes it, like, it takes it to the next level. So like I love it even more knowing that. It's very cool.
Let me turn on the light real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Look at that. Yeah, that looks great.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So I feel like at some point I'm going to need a little, some tips from you. Like, obviously this camera isn't what anyone sees. I have the other one set up, but I'm going to need to pick your brain a little, because you are just everything. I mean, we're going to talk about it, all of it, but like the light in the studio, everything you set up, all of your video production, your being the man in front of the camera, being the host, like you are a man of so many talents. Like I'm just thoroughly impressed by everything you've done, which I guess we could just dive right into some of who you are. And like, I know you don't really go by your name, you go by Plushy, but like Samir Korbi is how you pronounce your last name, right? Like, and
yeah, I mean, you could pronounce it like that. Yeah.
How would you pronounce it? I guess that's how I mean, ask it.
I pronounce it in since I'm Dutch, I would pronounce it as Samir Korbi. But I mean, when I talk to someone and we're having a conversation in English, I tend to say Samir Korbi. So yeah, so spot on actually. Also, yeah, you got to give yourself a little bit of credit too, because I've seen your videos and I've seen the way you interview people. You've got an entire skill set, and you use it so well. You're great on camera. You talk. You're so, and I'm so envious. You're so, and I know you get this compliment a lot. You're so well spoken. You're so literate. You're so, you can turn a conversation into something like bigger and better than it actually is. Like I've seen the people you interview, like the one from like Mama Bucks, and I sit there listening to this super inspirational person, and I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna bring in a Jeff Sarris interview? And I'm like, I can be like, this is cool, this is fun, this is nice to look at, but I feel like I can't be one of those people that has an inspirational quote by the end of an episode,
Oh, and I don't even think an inspirational quote or like sound bites are really what it's about, because it's about you and your story. I think your story is what's so valuable, because like everyone can see, maybe not everyone. So my whole goal is to tell as many origin stories as possible, like sort of reveal them, share them, because we each have our own path and where we are like right now. And there's going to be someone who's going to see you and be like, maybe that's where I want to be, or I actually had a similar experience, or wow, he's done so much within this realm, this bubble of sorts, but also such diverse things, because Yeah, it all fits together, and yeah, we should just dive right into everything.
I hope I can inspire people.
Oh,
Really, I really do
absolutely.
so, because if there's anything I'd like, I mean, we haven't even dove in yet. Is that how you say it? We haven't even
dove in.
dived. We do, okay, yeah. But I already want to inspire people to just go for it, you know, because I started from a place that was non-existent, and I just built my way up, you know. Starting to get heated over here already.
Perfect.
Oh,
so
am I full of cat hair? Okay.
Oh no, it looks perfect. I like this.
Cool.
But yeah, so just to maybe start by rewinding, and well, let's just give that brief little who is Plushy? What are you doing today? Just not much at all, but what would be like an elevator pitch of sorts?
Of myself in current day.
Yeah, just right now, and then we'll rewind. But
okay.
Yeah, because I mean, host and NFT creator, which is something that I'm excited to dive into because it's so unique. But yeah, sort of how do you look at yourself today, just in like a couple sentences?
Okay. Before you do that, it almost sounded like you were doing the intro of one of those YouTube rewinds. It's time to rewind. Something like. Sorry, I just wanted to get that off my chest.
I like it.
I'm a content creator. I like to translate the stuff that people have in their head into things worth looking at. I mean, that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, I love
that. A content creator that loves to be creative and
no, this is perfect.
Design is my passion, but you know,
yeah, I know I'm putting you on the spot because that's a tough, just sort of encapsulate everything that you are in a sentence. It's like, oh, easy, I got this. No, it's just, yeah, that was a big ask, but yeah, content creator is like the core of where you're at, but you've done so much, and as a host and a presenter, and
I've done a few things, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited to dive in. So if we rewind all the way back, YouTube rewind style, and we look at who Samir was before you were the content creator. Who were you growing up? What did you sort of see? What did you like? Who did you want to be maybe in the future?
Okay, so I was very inexperienced with pretty much everything, but I always wanted to do something with computers. It's a pretty broad term, but I wanted to be someone that could handle computers. And my mom was like, "Oh, you should be an industrial engineer. That's computer stuff. You know, you're gonna love it." So I tried doing that during the begin stage of my, not childhood, but as I was progressing in life. Turned out it was not really a thing for me, but I started flourishing as soon as I could go to college. I've done my bachelor's in digital design and media, and that actually opened up the doors to slowly start realizing what I really wanted to do. At that point, I really wanted to create VFX. I looked at the video co-pilot guy on YouTube, and he was turning faces into zombie faces, and I was like, oh my god, that's just the beginning, but I want to do more. I want to make movie trailers. I want to make people watch a trailer and be like, holy shit, that's hot, if we're talking YouTube rewind. Will Smith. And I wanted to, you know, I think that came from a place to impress people. Actually, I think I always wanted to impress people with my abilities. I don't think, wow, this is turning into a therapeutic session. I think I never really had a lot of validation as a child, if I did something right or good, or I wasn't really listened to. Yeah, that's how you say it. And I think growing up, I started realizing that and wanted to do something on my own, you know? And
would you say you're competitive naturally? Like growing up, were you very competitive? Kind of, does that go hand in hand, competitiveness with wanting to show and impress people? Or would you say it's something separate?
I think competitiveness has something to do with it. I think also when you grow up with a sibling, there's a very natural instinct to be a little bit competitive, at least, especially when the odds aren't super even. When you have a sister that's 5 years older than you, for example, and you still have to prove to that sister that you're worthy, you know. So yeah, maybe competitiveness has something to do with it. And as I started to develop all these new thoughts, you know, because when I was rounding up that bachelor's degree, I had an opportunity to go work for one of the biggest television companies here in Belgium, the VRT, and stands for, I forgot, whatever. And I had the opportunity to create logos, to design animations, to do a little bit of VFX here and there. And I had so much fun doing it. It was 1 month. Oh, no, sorry. It was 3 months of, free labor, of course. But for the first time in my life, I felt validated. I felt like I was part of a crew. All my ideas were worth something. And I was not used to that. Like, I grew up like hearing, well, that's a shitty idea, or I was afraid to talk about them, at least. So after those 3 months, I was like hyped up, you know. I was ready for everything, and I have this little bit of motion graphics knowledge at that point, because in that particular in the studies that I did, let me put it this way, it was divided by design, development, and a little slither of motion graphics, and I completely dove into that part. I neglected the development part. Design was still important if you want to have successful motion graphics, of course. And I nailed that part. During that year, people knew my work, you know, and I was so proud of it. And I think that's what got me into the television company. They were like, okay, let you show us what we. Hang on, I got this, Jeff. let you show us what you've got.
Show us what you got.
Yeah, I could have said it like that, man. I'm a Rick and Morty watcher. Yeah. Do you want me to continue, or do you have or should we slowly go through questions? Because I have a feeling that I'm on my way to something, and talking about my whole trajectory in my growing up years, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all super valuable. Like, I think it's almost like you have a little, or have a little chip on your shoulder. If you weren't getting that validation, weren't getting that, like, maybe the kudos, the admiration is too grand. Like, we all want to be recognized. It's the recognition for doing something great, and then having that moment where, oh wow, this is being recognized. I put in the work, and the work is coming to fruition. Would you say at VRT that was sort of a time when you were like cutting your teeth, like really making it, like grinding and doing a lot of work? Or had you put that work in ahead of time where you felt pretty established by that moment?
At that moment, I was still learning the ropes. I wouldn't say I was super motivated to do everything I could. I was just learning from my team too, because it was my first time interacting with people in the television world and stuff. So that was more of a learning experience for me. It did give me the thought in my head to go start working there. As soon as I finished working, as soon as I graduated, I was going to be like, okay, you know what? I want to work there full time. But things happened, you know. I suddenly had a change of heart. I kind of wanted to be more of an on-screen presence than an off-screen presence, or maybe the combination. I was still figuring that out. So as soon as I graduated, I had the opportunity to actually go back to the VRT part, but do a completely different thing. So there was this pretty big, what do you call it? Hang on, I'm not gonna Google words. I can speak in English. There was this big. So the VRT was looking for people to make TV. So they they looked around and they were looking for people to apply to their new show. They were like, we're searching 6 people to reinvent television.
Mm-hmm.
And out of thousands and thousands of people, I was one of the lucky ones to actually pull it off and do it. And
that says on-screen talent, right?
Yes, exactly. And that was pretty much my jumping start into the world of television and the world of getting to know what it's like to actually work in a big production. And after a year, I came to the realization that I didn't want to do television stuff because it's too strict. So every time I had a good idea, I was missing the feeling that I had during those 3 months at the VRT, those initial 3 months. I didn't feel valued. I had my own little segment where I did some animation stuff in front of a green screen, and it was pretty fun. And as I was writing all the scripts, we did 3 videos of those, and the end boss, I like to call him the end boss man, he always questioned certain things in my script. So I would write a joke in it, and he would be like, "You think that's really funny?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's funny. I don't really understand it. Scrap it." And I was like, "No, but it's funny." So ultimately I had to scrap all the good parts, and all that was left was pretty TV oriented content. And that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And that's when it all blew up, actually. That's when even more opportunities came knocking at my door. And that was really when I went crazy. I mean, crazy in a good way.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
So did you, when you started the YouTube channel, was there an overlap? So you're making money as the on-screen personality with the company. Now, did you start your channel and sort of build it up, or was it okay, I'm just going and diving in head first, no safety net? Sort of what was your approach like?
I patiently waited until my contract was done with the year, the 1 year commitment company, and started to pretty much analyze people online. I wanted to become a YouTube channel. I already knew that. I wanted to do something with a green screen because there wasn't at the time a lot of green screen stuff available in high quality. I wanted to produce the highest quality possible.
And I just want to stick a pin in that real quick, and just okay, for anyone listening, that they need to see the level that we're talking about. This isn't because, like, a lot of times people are like, "Oh, I did this. I started a YouTube channel," but yours, in my eyes, is TV level, like that, like in the best way. To say TV level in the best way, the production, the animation, the cutouts the way you use cutouts and move things around, and like, I just love it. It is so good. And being like, I want to do this. I want to set the bar for what this can be. I feel like you achieved that completely. So nice. I just want to touch on that real quick, just for people who haven't seen this, because it's also not in English. So that was the one thing for me, is like, I tried the auto captions. I'm like, God, they just don't translate well. But visuals, everything's so amazing. But sorry, didn't mean to sidetrack you. But it's beautiful what you've done and what you do.
I feel validated. That's all I want. I really I pushed myself, and I think I can say, without sounding too cocky, that I was one of the first content creators here in Belgium that actually did the effort, put in the effort. Because a lot of, especially in the year like 2015 to 17, when you said, "Oh, I'm a YouTuber," people would automatically assume, "Oh, he plays games, he does the Minecraft videos, he just does that stuff." But I didn't want to be one of those people, or a vlogger. I didn't vlog. I never vlogged. I did maybe like a couple of vlogs, but that was like promotional stuff, and I blended it in nicely with the typical content that I create. So I'm not a sellout, please.
Well, no, but you have to test. You have to experiment and adapt and see sort of. You dipped your toes into it in your unique way, and then you decide: is this a direction, or is this even like another sub show of sorts on my channel? But you got to try all those things.
That's true. Yeah, and at the time that I was making that YouTube channel, I actually had a job in the VRT doing the same stuff that I was able to do during those 3 months that I was super excited.
Uh-huh.
So I had that creative output, and when I came back from work, I could be like, okay, time for scripting, time to set up my studio and start filming. So I didn't have a lot of time to sleep back then. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same with right now, because after this interview, I'm going to work at least another 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah, and
9
what time
hours.
is it right now by you?
It is now 9:30 p.m.
Yeah, it's going to be a late night, but it sounds like you had shifted your time a little
Yes.
bit more to US
Yeah,
hours
yeah.
lately. But
Yeah, I woke up at 4 p.m. today, so I
Gotcha.
mean it fits.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And I am super unhealthy right now. I like I told you on in Discord already that I had McDonald's, and that was my only food of the day. So I have to be a little bit more careful later on today to at least have a little bit of better protein and stuff.
Yeah,
Aside from
definitely.
that, I'm a-okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's hard. So the beauty of where you were at then and where you are today with Web3, let's say like NFTs and everything, you're in that exciting zone where like we end up, for better or worse, letting ourselves go a little bit. Like we sacrifice sleep, we sacrifice some maybe relationships and personal things because we're just so into it. We're like in love with what we're doing, but there's a magic to that. And I think that comes through too, because then what you're able to create, where you're able to take things, is to another level that people who maybe are like, just to use Web3 specific. Oh no, let's take content creation. People who look at YouTube and they're like, I wish I was a YouTuber, not I want to create videos. Like I want to create these pieces of art, these green screen videos with the animation and all these things and tell a story. Like there's such different trajectories and you see it right away because you see the people who are like, I wish I was a YouTuber. That's wanting a result, but not wanting the work.
Yeah.
But you want the work, which then so happens to make you a YouTuber. And I think that's such a valuable spot to be in. And I think also with Web3, we see that is so many projects are, I want to be an NFT creator. I want to be an artist, but you can forget that lead up is the journey is it. The journey is the destination. It's like super cliche, but that's what it's all about.
100%. Yeah. I feel lucky having had all the experience during my time growing up and entering a new world that doesn't really see that amount of I mean, that sounds really cocky, experience in that space, you know. Like I feel there's a need for people, a need in the space for people that do live streams, that do regular YouTube videos, that do general great content creation, you know, stuff like that. And I feel like that the space is lacking that a little bit, and that's why I also want to contribute as soon as I'm a little bit more established, because I'm still growing up in the space.
Uh-huh.
I have this thing where I don't know, no, I don't want to call it a fetish, but I want to teach people things. You know, I've done a bunch of series already for brands like there's a specific channel in the VRT for children, and I've had a series on that channel too to teach kids the little things that they may not know about.
Mm-hmm.
I teach.
Is it okay to say the channel? Because isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's US based. Isn't it also Nickelodeon, or is this a different one?
Oh no, it's a different one. That was not Nickelodeon. That was something completely different.
Okay, yeah,
No,
we'll get to all that too, just so people realize like you've been everywhere. Nintendo, Nickelodeon, like so
Oh,
much.
Well, so the channel was Catnet actually, and it tackled some life questions like why does toothpaste come out the way it does, or why is there I was gonna say a different word, a rooster on top of a church for example, stuff like that. I was gonna say cock, but it's a rooster, right?
It all works, you know. Would you say there was
stuff like that? Yeah.
Was there an inspiration for you because that educational side, like, so just real quick, like all these little boxes, like I see how similar we are because like I went into computer science because I liked video games. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just always worked with computers and I was like, that's what I'll do. And then I'm like, I don't want to be a game developer. And like, so all these things and like brand and design, like what we do is that. It started as web design, became branding, became an entire strategy. But again, you said, I don't want to be, how do you say it? Essentially, you didn't want to like overplay it, but you wanted to raise the bar. And that's exactly where we came from. Me and my business partner, Dave, our whole thing was everyone's a WordPress designer. And it's like, well, no, like we can develop a brand. Like this is different. I don't care if we use WordPress. That's the tool we're using to do this. And it's like a different approach, but we had our own lane. We had zero competition when we started our business. And still to this day, there isn't like there's obviously agencies in this, but we are an ultra minimalist agency who's 2 people, no overhead. We do 100% of everything in-house because we want things a certain way, and no one is going to love our business the way we do. So, and we've found this unfortunately with contractors, we just don't get the same results. And then I end up rebuilding it, he ends up redesigning it, whatever it is. So everything's in-house now. But yeah, just all the boxes, everything you're saying, I just find so fascinating because we really overlap in many ways. And but I love seeing this.
We found each other.
Absolutely. But I think that's so important to like raise the bar and be proud of your work. I don't think that's self-aggrandizing or anything. I think it's truly, it's the mark of someone who's trying to create something special.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, I totally resonate with everything that you said. And also amazing. Like I look up to people that do the stuff that you do. In the form of doing everything yourself, you know, you have this specific vision, just do it. Like it's gonna take a little bit more time. It might be a bit more stress induced, but it's gonna be worth it. Mm-hmm. And people are gonna be proud of you. You know, that validation in my case.
Well, yeah, for sure. So you're hosting, you have your YouTube channel. Now, what's the trajectory to landing these other big, I mean, you are a Nintendo Shoutcaster, I think is the right way to say it. You've had your own shows. Unfortunately, I didn't translate the names, but it's like Samir something, Samir this, like as the face. I mean, you are the face of these shows. How did that how did some of those pieces come together? Because as you're building your channel, I'm sure the opportunity starts to show up. But what did it look like for you?
It was actually just a matter of fake it, because when you become a YouTuber, when you take the stage like that, when you're in a professional setting, according to the audience, when you look at a 4K video as opposed to all the only HD videos out there, you know, you automatically assume that person knows a thing or two about certain things. Mm-hmm. So people automatically assumed that I could do host related stuff, that I could shoutcast, that I could do all different kinds of stuff. And so I'm in a little bit of a very spoiled situation where people usually come to me and they're like, can you do this for us? And it always makes me think, can I do that? I have zero experience, but I could eventually teach myself how to do it. And so so that way I come out of my comfort zone and do it. That shoutcasting thing, my first day shoutcasting for Nintendo, my heart was pounding. But as I was getting in the groove, it felt good. It felt right. It felt like I was being myself. Not like some persona, but I could chat with people, I could laugh people, I could crack in a joke, I could throw goodies to people's faces. That was the best part. I could, you know, and I think the shoutcasting thing ultimately led me to streaming too, because I was craving that interaction with people. And as far as the experience goes, the streaming actually taught me how to talk more, how to be more engaging, how to, grab people by the neck and be like, look at my content, stuff like that. Wait, was I answering your question?
No, this is perfect. So you're a problem solver. Would you say that?
Oh, yes. My girlfriend hates it. I am 100%, 1000% a problem solver.
So why does she hate it? I think I know why, because this resonates with me completely. So I'm just curious.
Because apparently people sometimes just want to vent. But I have a 100% working solution to the problem you're having, but you don't want it. But I mean,
here, wait.
I'm a problem.
So 1 second. So Amara, my girlfriend, is right over here. You won't be able to see her, but I just turned up your mic. Does that sound familiar?
No, not at all.
Hey, Amara.
Hi, Plushy.
But yeah, I'm gonna turn your mic down now. Like that, it's just so funny because that's the thing. Like I feel like I'm hearing you say the same thing. Like everything can be improved, whether it's an actual problem or if it's a what do you think about this? I'm like, that's amazing. And like everything has an and like I know for some people that can be exhausting. Actually, Amara doesn't. I put her on the spot.
Like,
Here, hold on.
I was like, I don't find it exhausting,
No.
but yes, sometimes you just want to vent a little bit.
But yeah, I didn't mean to put her on the spot because like she's also a problem solver too. It's like why we connect. But it's funny because when you're wired that way, it's like, well, no, I can make everything better. Like I don't care what it is, and that can again sound like gloating, but no, it's just I'm wired that way, and it sounds like you're wired exactly the same way.
Yeah, and at the same time, it feels like you're never overwhelmed because there's always an exit out. There's always, you'll figure it out, and that's kind of my state of mind. I'm generally a very calm person, very I'll get there when I get there attitude. No, not that attitude. More like I'll get there, and at that point where it gets really hard, I'll figure it out. And that's the same thing that I like. That mentality. I took that, and then I started working on this NFT thing.
Yeah, that's a perfect transition. So, like, let's also. How did you find your way in? How did you find your way into NFTs? And like we first connected through Fat Baby and Clever Girls and Raptors and everything. What was your journey from content creator into Web3? And also because this is sort of. Would this be the first time you've branched over into English first content?
Yes, this is the first time I'm completely English. Actually, I grew up with a lot of English content, and to be honest, I do produce Dutch stuff, but I hate. I don't know if hate is the right word. I don't like watching Dutch content because in a way, that it sounds like I'm a horrible person saying that, but when you grew up with a lot of English content and you see Dutch content, I feel like they're trying too hard to mimic the English content. And a lot of channels here in Belgium do that exact thing. They try to mimic a show that was already successful years ago in America, for example. Like I feel like Belgian people have these. You know what? Belgian people are great. Just in case people are watching.
Oh yeah, for
and they're
sure.
from Belgium. I love Belgium. My heart's in Belgium.
Well, definitely. Also, though, this is the like we just talked about problem solver, improving. Where can you sort of tick those extra boxes that other people are? That's really all it is. Is you're looking. It's that and kind of approach.
Yes, exactly. But to answer your question, it all started with being interested in crypto. So I made a wallet for myself and put in some funds. I was like, I could use this money, but also I want to experiment a little bit with crypto and where it's headed. Am I going to buy Bitcoin? Probably not. Like a few of those altcoins, Ethereum was one of them. And you know what? Let's not make it too financial advice related stuff. I invested a little bit and I got a bit of profit. I lost a few bucks, like,
Around what time period was this?
Oh, that was at the end of 2020.
Gotcha.
I think.
Yeah, so right before the big NFT just simmering coming up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's when it caught my eye, crypto, because I wasn't in NFT yet at that time. That came at a later point. I think 4, 5, 6 months later or something. It depends on when Clever Girls got released. And I started looking around because you keep seeing that one term on Twitter, in the news, NFTs, what are they? And you always see the non-fungible token. But what the hell does it mean? It's like, oh, it's a non-fungible token. Don't you know? What the hell is it? So I dove in and I was very intrigued by the technology behind it. And I started looking around. I started looking at various blockchain projects, Ethereum blockchain projects. By the way, merge happened overnight. Super happy. Yay. Yeah. We're at the other side, baby.
Happy merge miss or whatever. Everyone has all the different names for it.
That should be an actual holiday, actually. The 15th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. And I started doing some research. And what do people do when they want to learn a new thing about a certain subject? They go straight to YouTube and they watch one hell of a lot of tutorials. So I mean, that's the thing that you shouldn't do is watch content creators talk about like a specific coin. You don't want to do that. But I came across this video of a guy talking about how to get into a new project, how to find a new project that has, a good value perhaps, and where to find it. So he was talking about the Rarity Tools website, and you have to click on the upcoming, and then you could see all the projects that are about to launch. And I was like, oh my God, perfect. And one of those projects, I didn't have a lot of money. One of those projects was a free mint, and it was the Happy Bear something community. And I completely missed the mint. I did not. MetaMask was never very easy to use, especially as a beginner. And I didn't know what the hell, a Gwei. I didn't know you had to convert from ETH to ETH if you want to buy stuff like that. So I completely missed out on that. And I was like, you know what? I want to try again. So I ultimately bought it at on OpenSea, secondary. Secondhand. It sounds this is dirty. But my very first mint from the actual website was from Clever Girls, because I saw that art, and it's a good thing that it was listed on Rarity Tools in the upcoming tab. I saw it and I was like, holy shit, that's so cool. So I dove into the Discord and I introduced myself. So I'm a content creator. Or did I already do that at that point?
Were you Plushy?
I don't remember.
At this point, did you go by Plushy from day one?
Yes. Day one, no. Okay. No. Because I remember a time where I had to change my nickname from Hoedje van Samir, that's my my Dutch alternative, to Plushy, because I was like, okay, I want to keep it separated. And I did. And I thought of the most masculine thing I could think of at that very, very moment. And it was Plushy.
Perfect.
It sounded cute. And I was...
Yeah, where did the name come from? I was just going to say, but yeah.
It sounded cute. And I have this hidden cuteness inside of me that I had to express in some way. And the name Plushy was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I love it. It's a great name, and it like really stands out. And actually, I want to keep going, but real quick. And when was the hair color? Because it's a brand. It's a brand thing that you're instantly recognizable in photos from a distance, like at an event, like, which I think is brilliant. I love that. And I was just curious when that sort of came into play, and then we'll jump back to NFTs. But
that was 2016. That was a year after I started or half a year actually after I started with my YouTube content, because I always wanted to have blue hair. It's a cool color. And and I wanted to do everything around the color blue. It's not a coincidence that the lights in the back are blue right now. It's this brand, and people, especially businesses here in Belgium, they like that. And that was one of the reasons, and that was one of my top moments in my YouTube career. After barely a month of being active on YouTube, Disney reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, do you want us to fly you over to California to visit the Pixar studios for their upcoming movie Finding Nemo?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And in the plane, I was talking to the Disney person, and she was like, and I was like, "Out of all the people that are more popular than me in the Belgian YouTube scene, why did you choose me? I mean, we love what you're doing, and your hair is blue and stuff, and Finding Dory is like blue." And I was like, "Hell yeah, it's starting to work."
Nice, because like you want to have that thing. We all want to sort of innately, maybe deeply, we want to fit in. But it's the people who stand out in some way. Like something as simple as your hair got their attention. And then suddenly they're like, "Oh, this guy's awesome. Let's bring him out. Let's do this. This will all work together in a great way." So I think it's just, it was something I meant to ask. And it's just, I think that's a very valuable point. Like brand is so important. And a big part of your brand, like be it your name or anything, it's your look. And having the blue hair jumps out. And it's like, and it's, just everything about it. It was a great choice. And I'm glad it worked out so quickly. That's so fun.
Yeah, it's so weird how quickly it was. And it came to a point. I mean, nowadays, everyone has, or a lot of people have color in their hair, and it's not that special anymore. And now when you produce content with blue hair, it feels like you're trying to be like a try-hard or something. You know, I don't know. But I always loved the blue. I'm not going to lose it. And then at some point, that ninja guy on Twitch came live streaming. He was like, "I got blue hair." So sometimes here in Belgium, it's like, "Hey, it's ninja." I'm like, "No, it's not." You know?
Yeah. Well, and so sort of to bring it back around, then you were doing like the Clever Girls streams and everything. You connected with Fat Baby on that project, and one of the things that I first noticed was your mic presence as a host and the visuals, you and your scene. And it was something that I was like, where did this guy come from? And why is this also good? Like immediately, just great. And so how did you then connect? You collected Clever Girls, you minted one. And then how did you end up being like such a core part of the team?
I actually introduced myself, I believe. I sent a DM to Fat Baby, and I was like, "Hey, I'm Plushy. I can do this. I can do that. Are you looking for people that need this skill set?" And they were immediately interested. I am wondering though if she put out like a search in the announcements. I forgot. Maybe it was just something that I picked up on in general chat. If she said at some point, "Oh, we're still looking for people to do certain things," and maybe I jumped on it. I kind of forgot, but it got us talking either way, and we scheduled a meeting, and it went great, and we automatically started vibing. You know how Fat Baby is. You cannot not vibe with her. You know, it just happens, and I feel very honored to have met her in Amsterdam a couple of months ago, and she's just the way she is online as she is in real life. It's amazing. Yeah. And it got us talking, and more people got in the team, and Answer was a part of the team too. Man, I miss Answer. He's still around, but he's kind of in the background right now. But I'm happy that he's still around, and I hope he's gonna have a comeback soon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you two are such a great duo. It's just, love it. Like so much. Fat Baby and friends being in the stream, and like just always so much fun. Yeah.
There's talks about doing a monthly one, but we haven't really established that yet.
Yeah. Yeah, because for a little while it was like an employee kind of thing. Like there was compensation because there was more money flowing, obviously, in all of crypto, all of NFTs. Yep. There was a time when that could be worked out much better than it could be now. Now it would be very tough for any project. To be like really paying like a team.
Yeah, and I invested a lot of time in it, and I really wanted it to succeed. I mean, in my eyes, it's still succeeding because
Oh
it's
yeah.
still like there were some sales last night, like a 5 or 6 or maybe even 7. I can't remember, but I kept as I was working, I kept seeing, oh, Raptor, whatever, just sold up another one. So I mean, it's still succeeding.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, at the time, yeah, we were still getting paid, of course, and I don't want to be that guy to say, oh, I'm only doing it for the money. Not at all. I invested a lot of time in it, and I had to figure out a way to get money another way.
We all
You
need to
know?
eat. That's the thing. Like
Yes.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And like in bad fruit, like we have so many people who are so given of their time, and I wish there was sort of a channel to reimburse them, but like there just isn't right now.
Yeah.
That isn't how it's set up, and hopefully in the future. But yeah, it's something that everyone needs to like have at least enough to get by, but hopefully like to be comfortable in where they are, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I mean, if at some point Fat Baby is like, hey, do you want to become a more active member of the team again? I'm still like the silent community manager, but I don't feel that it's as outspoken anymore as it
Yeah.
was before because I'm not super active anymore with my, I mean, as that part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
in spirit, I always am. So if she at some point is like, hey, you want to come back? We have a little bit of conversation, but that, I mean, I wouldn't be able to say no, you know?
Oh, of course. Yeah. But also now you have your own project that you're working on. And also, real quick, do you have like a heart out at any time, at any moment, or is it good to go for a little bit?
Oh, no, it's good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Sorry. That is some watery Fanta. No, I don't need to head out. I still have I mean, like I said, I can do this for another 6 to 7 hours. How about that? Want to play a game after this? Let's go.
There we go. We're just all night, all night for you until the morning.
Amanda, you're joining us.
did you say Amanda?
Oh shit! Hang on. Oh shit! Oh no! Oh, I fucked up.
It's dark Amanda to you.
But that's what's funny. It's become like a running joke now that she's like Amanda or Dark Amanda, which I think is hilarious. But it's Amara. Amara.
Amara. So sorry.
Either one works.
As I said it, it felt wrong. Amara. Okay, Amara.
Yeah.
Amara, not Amara.
There you go.
Amara.
Yeah.
You got close.
Okay,
so
sorry.
brownie points for that.
No, but yeah. What were we saying? I don't know. It always cracks me up. I love that she's become like a character sort of within the community now because that's what happens. She's gotten that forever.
You guys fit so well together. Like I've seen some videos and the synergy you guys have. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great time. But yeah. So anyway, back to you and everything. Now that you've started secretly, like I should say, just quietly building up your skills, just like everything else you do. You're like, I can solve this. I can figure out how to do something unique. And you are doing something. I know it's still very early, very under wraps, but you have somehow, in a sea of NFT projects, found something completely new. Yeah, like it is. Like you didn't really tell me much at the time when you sort of said, hey, I'm working on this. I've been learning 3D. That was basically it. That's all you said. And then when I saw what you're doing with Subsystem, I was like, this is brilliant. Like how anyway, let's just dive right in. Where did the first spark of you deciding to start your own project? Where did that come from? And then we'll dive into what it is.
I'm so proud of it, man. I'm really proud of it. So I really appreciate what you said. The spark, it sounds really, really dumb, but at some point, Guerrilla Games, you might have heard of them, they launched a game called Horizon. And more recently, they launched the sequel, Forbidden West. And it's a killer game. Love it. One of the best games I've ever played. It's like the cinematography, the graphics, the storyline, the mechanics, love it. A few months after launch, they did me a dirty. They introduced me to a passion that I never knew I could have for something. They launched papercraft versions of certain robot machines from in the game, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna download that PDF, I'm gonna print it out, and I'm gonna start creating. I'm gonna start crafting. I'm gonna make my hands dirty. So what happened was I'm gonna head out real quick. Give me 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. How you doing over there?
Dark Amanda is great.
Perfect. Okay, he's back.
Okay, so what happened was I created this it's a little slanted because I didn't really super made it well, but I created this masterpiece.
That is amazing.
Of robot gloriness.
And I saw that in the Subsistem video, and I did not realize that was a paper crafted.
Oh yeah,
that is awesome.
Matter of fact, that is not the version you saw in the video.
There's multiple?
Oh baby. So I finished that, and I thought, you know what could make this thing even better? Professional printing. So I went to a printer, no, not a printer, but like a place where they print stuff. And I asked them, can you do this, but make it instead of A4, A3? And then this masterpiece was born. And that's the thing. This is the thing you saw in the video. And I'm super proud of it. It's
wild.
Super huge, man.
That is enormous.
Yeah, it is also like pretty thick paper. And it's just so cool to look at. There is a light in it too. I'm not gonna turn it on, but believe me, there is a light. Did I turn it on? I'm gonna try to turn it on. Hang on. Can I do it? Shit, I'm gonna break it. I didn't think this through.
No, that is so
I did it the other way around.
Oh,
there we go.
Nice. That is so cool. And it's wild what you can build just like out of paper. Like that is very impressive.
And so, thank you. And that was the spark that I needed. I was like, okay, I was researching. And I was like, where can I find equally cool things to make? And I couldn't find it. And it got me thinking, you know what I'm doing at the moment? I'm in this whole NFT space. I'm in this Web3 space, and no one's talking about something that I have in mind. And I was like, what can I do? Like, what can I do to be happy with myself, to extend that passion, and to also, how should I say this? Well, give me some time to phrase it. I haven't really thought about it. What can I bring to this space that could give me the equal amount of gratification that I got when I started making content? And I kind of wanted to push myself. In order to create stuff like that, you have to be very skilled at 3D software. So I tried to dive in, head first, started creating. It took me a couple of months, but I'm at a point right now where I can safely say I am pretty average with 3D software. I'm not like top tier just yet, but I can create stuff. I can create polygonal shapes in 3D software. And it had me thinking, so is it my goal to create an NFT collection out of papercraft, or do I want to add something to that? Because I don't know if I mentioned papercraft already in this whole NFT thing.
Yeah, not to me.
No. So that is actually a big part of the Subsystem Obscurals collection.
Nice.
So aside from the stereograms that show a 3D image of a polygonal obscural creature.
And can you just, for people listening, could you actually just explain stereogram just really briefly? Like, you have a great video about it and everything, but yeah, for people who don't know already.
Yeah, so for people that don't know already what a stereogram is, it is basically an image of a, it's an image that doesn't look like anything at first sight. It has a certain pattern. It's pretty texturized. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it looks almost like noise.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like noise, but structured noise in some way. Because when you look at it, you might distinguish a few lines here and there. But the trick to these images, to these special 2D images, is to let your eyes focus on something else, and not like you have to look at like something else. But I mean, you have to change the focus in your eyes while looking at the stereogram. And as soon as you're able to do that, as soon as you have that magic eye, because that's what they're called too, magic eye images, you're going to start to see a shape in 3D, a 3D shape inside of a 2D image. And the thought alone of that, of combining that and the papercraft, I was like, this is it. This is the next best thing. I'm going to learn everything there is to create papercraft. I'm going to learn everything there is to make 3D creatures. I'm going to launch the best project out there. Man, this feels like I'm shilling a lot, but
no. This is what I want to hear, because this is the passion. And it comes through. I did not know about the papercraft. I already loved the 3D images.
I'll do you one better.
Uh-oh. Nice.
This is the very first prototype of a head and body of one of the Obscurals.
That is
the
cool.
The head is a little bit on the small side still, but I mean, it's a work in progress.
That is very cool. This is fun. And this is so unique to, like I mentioned, like I haven't seen anything even remotely like this. But yeah, keep going. Like, I love the passion. This isn't shilling at all. The whole point of this show is to showcase you. So keep it coming.
Okay, cool. Well, so I don't know how the stereogram thing popped in my head. I think I just connected the dots in my brain, like 3D. Oh, what can I do with 3D? I can make things, but also there's 3D images, and I immediately reached down to like the big bucket of memories in the back of my brain of the time that I got really invested in stereograms. And I remember the time where my sister, she gave me a postcard of, like, it looked like Skittles, but like a lot of Skittles, very colorful things. And I think there's the stereogram online somewhere that was actually, I found it. That was on that postcard. I'm gonna link it to you real quick. Copy image address. Here we go. So yeah, that is actually the postcard that I saw when I was just a small plushie.
Nice.
And people kept telling me there is something in there, and I was like, no, there's not. You guys are, yanking my chain. You guys are, I don't know other phrases in English, but you're full of shit. There is no image. But as soon as you like see a glimpse of something more to something, it triggers something, man. It just tells you, like, there's this whole, like, I think stereograms are super mysterious. You don't know what they're in unless you possess this special skill to see what's inside of it. And I want people to experience that all over again. And that's why the whole nostalgic part is very important in this thing, because papercraft is ultimately also something that is very nostalgic. People used to talk about it years ago. It's not really a thing anymore unless you're talking to a certain niche. I bet there's still people out there that do this on a daily basis, but there's nothing compared to what I'm creating right now, currently in the market. yeah, it's just this nostalgic thing, and that feeling of seeing things that maybe other people cannot see. You kind of feel special, you know? You kind of feel validated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so. Yeah, I feel like a truly new project is so welcome because everything is like the PFPs. You know, it's like, what animal haven't we done yet, or what combination of animals, or can we put board in front of something else, like whatever it is. But like, this is truly unique, and you're taking your passion for learning, passion for just diving into something new and infusing it into this project. It's very exciting. Like, it's just funny. I had no idea about the papercraft part, but you touched on nostalgia. That was something I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I think nostalgia in this space is, I mean, it's not only so powerful, but I think a lot of people don't realize that they're missing that part because, like, I had the Magic Eye book, that like red book. I don't know if you like had the same one, but like the classic like first Magic Eye book. I remember getting it from like Scholastic Book Fair at school, and I was like, "This is so weird. It doesn't work." And all of a sudden, when it does, like you said, you have this new knowledge that's just like, "Whoa, how is this working? I don't understand it, but I have this like superpower. I can look into this page and see images now." It's just wild.
Oh, they have a Dutch version. Oh, I might buy it.
Yeah, it's the classic. I think that's the first, like, sort of really, I think that's when it really hit mainstream. But that, I mean, that was the 90s. I don't know when that was. That was a long time ago. And you doing this and tapping into that nostalgia, super valuable.
I think so too. I think so. Like, as soon as I like thought of it, I was like, okay, you know what? I don't want this to be another idea that's on the shelves and that I never use. I still have a couple, but this one I really believed in. I believe in it like so much, and I just wanted it to succeed. So I started doing a little bit of research because obviously I couldn't do it all by myself. Because if there's anything I learned from my time at college is that I'm not, even though I'm a problem solver, I am not a coder. I'm not a person that can program stuff. So I started looking for the best developer out there, and I heard that you're a developer too, right?
I am, but yeah, like,
all right,
keep going.
Okay, so I was looking for the second best developer out there, and I came across the Cranky Critters, you know, and I soon realized after we featured them with Raptor City, I think, talking to their artist, I soon realized that entire team is actually Belgian, and I was like, oh my god, that's perfect, because that Belgian team has a Belgian developer. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I heard great stuff, and I love the Cranky Critters. I got one myself. I have a proposal. Can we talk a little bit? And the ball was rolling, and he was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." He also thought it was a pretty good idea, and it had his trifecta. It had to do. Oh yeah, that's another thing that we haven't even talked about. The most important thing, the charity, man. There's an entire charity involved for this whole process because okay. Fuck the developer. We love you, Rune. I'm going to talk about the charity for a second. So since there's a lot of usage of paper, it got me thinking, okay, so what am I trying to address? Why do I still have a little bit of mixed thoughts about this project? Because I don't want people to go out of their way and go buy high quality materials, go buy high quality paper, since there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. There's deforestation, there's littering, I wanted to do something good. Like if it takes off, I want to make sure people know what's going on. So this entire collection is actually a how should I put it? A representation of how animals could be living right now. So these obscurals are actually, hang on, let me rephrase that. In the world of the obscurals, I mean, there's a lot of littering going on, a lot of deforestation. It's pretty much it's planet Earth, but it's in acute form. And all the traits, for example, so you got 3 categories. You got leftovers, you got garbage, and you have trash. So each one signifies if it's like a hat of some sort, a chain or like a chest piece or something on the face. And so a lot of traits are, for example, a takeaway box, a lost wallet, a traffic cone, stuff that you can usually find like in forests, in like stuff, areas where people join in to attend a festival, for example, like tents, beer cans, bottles, stuff like that. And I want that to be a little bit more eye-opening to people when they dive into this project. Like, this is still a thing. Good. Obscurals, by the way, let me bring in the definition of subsist. I don't know if you've heard of it. I wasn't aware of the word, but a subsist is maintain or support oneself, especially at a minimal level. I had a better... Wait, hang on. Oh, okay. Here we go. To use something as a way to stay alive. So the Obscurals, actually, they're just like, you know what? We're still alive and we're just making the best of it. So they're wearing their McDonald's box crowns or something like that, and they're just dealing with it. And so every trait will also be in papercraft form. So it's gonna roll out in stages, in phases, actually. So you're gonna have the critters, so the Obscurals. I'm talking shop a lot. I'm so sorry. You got the Obscurals, and they will be available a few months after mint to craft already. And in the months following up to that, or following, I'll begin rolling out all the traits that you can fine-tune your already made papercraft Obscural with.
Nice. And
man, it's a lot of info, but yeah,
no, it's great. So the traits, when you mint, are the traits already in the stereogram?
Yes.
Okay.
So a very cool mechanic, I think. And Rune, the developer, said it was perfectly possible, and he's had his hands full. But when you mint, you get a stereogram. And in the stereogram, you can already see which kind of critter you have and what the traits will be. Mm-hmm. If after this interview, I can send a few examples if you want to feature them in the video, if you want. Yeah. And after a few days after after you mint, or after I'm hoping for a sellout, but I mean during these times you never know. Probably not, because it's all the market's already saturated. But whatever, man. So after a few days, you will have 2 additional images inside of your one NFT. So what you're getting is a stereogram initially. After a few days, you will get your Obscural with the traits, with all the traits visible in profile pic form. Nice. And another one in 2K with a background, so that you can see if it's a background that's filled with human litter, like tents from a festival, like an out-of-hand first romantic date where you have the picnic basket and the champagne and stuff. You actually get 3 NFTs for the mint price of 1, actually.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I love that.
I kind of wanted to give a lot of value if someone would go out of their way to actually do the effort to mint a piece. And also, very important, when you mint, you also plant 10 trees. So my ultimate goal for this project is to plant 55,550 trees.
Wow. That is a lot of trees. And yeah,
that's a lot of trees.
That goes a long way then. So what is the mint price going to be?
Oh, it's currently set to 0.05
Nice.
It is a big chunk of the budget, like 55,000 trees, but it's gonna be worth it. You know, that's is my main focus. I really
Mhm.
want that to happen, and then be like, hey, you know what? This project, whew, we planted 55,000 trees, and I hope I can actually go out there and do some work. Like Mr. Beast created a video some time ago where he planted 1 million trees or something, and there was one day where he helped out the crew that actually did it, and
Uh-huh.
it was a pretty cool video. I kind of want to do that too.
It's
You
your
know, I want to
content
go
creator.
there.
You got that going the whole
Yes,
time. Uh-huh.
yes, I want to show people what they invested in too. Like aside from all the fun stuff, aside from the cool stereogram and the papercraft, I want them to know that they also contributed to something that they can do at that time, because I feel like it's more accessible to people to um, support a charity through crypto,
Mhm.
and especially through NFTs. And since it's the future, since it's all going to blockchain related technology, I think that's a good way to bring people in, to first of all bring awareness, and to, I mean, in a way, make people do something about it in
Mhm.
a non-direct way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an opportunity and also a something you can collect and you get a both sides of the satisfaction. I'm collecting this. I love this. This is so much fun. Oh, and it just so happens to also be good for the planet, doing things that are better. Also, the timing of the merge, pretty good. Pretty good to be like after
Yeah.
the merge
Yes.
because we're focused on the planet here and like energy consumption changes with the merge. And yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I really like it. So when are you expecting launch? I know October, and let's see
It is.
what is the week or what is today's date even the week? Yeah, today's the 15th. This will probably be out first week in October. So when about are you looking at?
It might be um, either because um, our developer is a little sick right now. He has like some kind of disease, and he's currently he can't work on anything. So we have a little bit of a delay, but it's probably gonna be either in the third week of October or fourth week.
Nice. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
it's right around the corner though. I mean, that
Yes.
is it's exciting. So
It's so
you
exciting.
have built a great network. Like people know Plushy. Like you're in these projects, you're connected with people and you're just so likable. How are you like I feel like you're not one to promote like self-promotion just doesn't feel like who you are.
Mhm.
And I'm curious, how are you going about sort of getting the word out in a way that works best for you, that you feel uh, satisfaction in?
I don't want to push myself into situations. I think like because like I hate chilling. Like you probably noticed. Oh, do you want to go outside? You probably noticed in the Discord there's a lack of channels at the moment, but there's no. I am never gonna post anything like or create a channel with like alpha shill or shill channel or something like that. I don't want like those people are in your channel for only one reason, and I don't want to be one of those people. I genuinely want to start having a conversation with people and not casually bring it up, but if I feel the need to be like, hey, oh my god, that leans into something that I'm currently working on, without saying too much, of course. um I prefer expanding my um my social um, network, rather than uh, automatically have like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Hang on. um,
I think it's connection over sales. I think that is
yeah,
sort of
th-
like where you're going. Here, one second.
that's exactly what I meant.
Did it go off again? Um, Here, bear with me for 1 minute. For some
Okay.
reason, the A74 likes to overheat, doesn't like to stay on.
Oh
So
shit.
I'll be right back. But
You know what? My
uh
previous camera, I was like, when I was recording a YouTube video, it was terrible. Every time I was recording for longer than an hour, you could see the little orange symbol with the droplet and the square. It's like, oh, overheating alert, and it's gonna terminate your recording. And every time I had that, I had to go downstairs, take out the battery, put it in the fridge, and wait until it got colder to to continue my recording. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
overheating
is
is a real issue.
Yeah, that is not ideal. These cameras are amazing. Like, I love what they've created, but that is the one thing that I'm like, But also, I've only just started using this. So I just brought my show back. So yesterday I talked to Spotty Wi-Fi, and last week talked to, or a few weeks ago, Mama Box. It just came out this week. But it's the first time I'm using this for such a long, extended period of time. So I was like, okay, I need to start figuring this out now. But that's the thing. Problem solving, work in progress. Everything we do is like we have to start. That's why I called the show Starting Now. Like, you have to start somewhere, and then you're constantly getting better. Like, you mentioned your skill set and how it's something I like to bring up is the why am I blanking on his name? But Ira Glass. There's the Ira Glass quote about our taste outpacing our skills, and how you get into something because your taste is top notch, but you're constantly chasing your taste because our skill set almost inevitably doesn't reach the taste, because the more we learn, the more refined our taste of something is. Like, for him, it's This American Life and like radio production, radio storytelling. And like, I know for you, it's filmmaking and creating the animation, and now the 3D and all this stuff you're building into your project, that it's so hard because we want it to be what we know it can be. And especially the more we learn, the more we know like where we aren't yet, but getting started and doing it and continuing and doing as much as you can until like inevitably your skills improve, your opportunity grows, and it's this cycle. But it's that first step, that's just so important.
Yeah. And along the way, you might get fresh ideas, and you're going to have to adapt, maybe combine ideas. And as soon as you dive into something, that in itself opens a lot of portals, because it can, in a way, rewire your brain to think of something in a different way than you did before.
Definitely. Yeah. The more we have to do and have to figure out, the more portals. I like it that way. It opens up so much in so many other areas for learning. And something I wanted to ask real quick about content creation. I know it's 40 minutes ago, whatever, but
no worries.
Do you spend a lot of time scripting and writing? Because that's one thing that, for me, not being really a content creator, it didn't register for me until recently that a lot of people they're writers who create videos. And I wonder if you take that approach.
From day one, I wrote scripts for my videos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. And I could spend hours and hours on it because I'm not a writer myself, but I still do it. And I want to be satisfied with it. And in that way, I'm also a little bit of a perfectionist. I want the jokes to hit. I want the jokes to hit at a certain point. And you have to think of like the pauses you have to leave. And if we're talking about my very early green screen videos, I always had a way I stood in front of the camera. So I did a sentence, and then my entire body, standing on a cat, then my entire body would shift to the other side of the screen. So what does that make me do? I can't just be this and look at the camera like that. No, what I did was, depending on where the text or the GIF would show up, I would just tilt my body toward that spot. And at the end of a sentence, when I knew when the cue was in my script, I just did this. And I continued with the thing. So it matched with the animation. So that was a very crucial thing to have with the content I was creating back in the days.
Oh, yeah. It's all the details.
So, yeah, scripting.
Yeah, it's many details that go into it. And that's what sets it apart. I mean, all of those things really, it's why I know this project, when it starts minting in a few weeks, it's going to stand out. People are going to be like, things are a little different here. Even how you're opening up Discord and how it's essentially a puzzle to figure out that like all those little details really go in to make people remember. And you have the nostalgia of what you're doing, but also you're creating future nostalgia. Like, remember when we figured out how to get into Subsystem? Remember when this, remember when that. And I think you have all these pieces. It's really great. And like, this has been awesome. I don't want to take too much of your time. So like, where should people go to dive into the project and follow along with what you're up to?
Be sure to check out subsystem.io. Subsystem, it's with an I, not a Y.
Because so Subsistem.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, .io. And it's Subsystem NFT on Twitter. If you want to see a daily stereogram, because since I got this skill to create 3D stuff, I'm like, okay, I want to create a little bit more to get the conversation rolling on Twitter and to let people know this is like a stereogram heavy project and it's a little mysterious and only people that have a certain skill can actually appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire people to maybe take a look and see if they can figure it out, and if they can't, if they want to go the extra mile to teach themselves. And I have currently I have a tutorial pinned on my top tweets. If it's not pinned, it's gonna be somewhere. It's definitely gonna be somewhere on the new website when phase 3 launches, hopefully next week. And it's gonna be one hell of a ride if you value a little bit of creativity, if you value a lot of nostalgia, if you like to have your child have their first NFT. This is a very family-friendly collection. There's no like 420 related stuff. There's no raccoons with their tits out or whatever. It's very friendly. I want this to be also an inspiration to parents to have a little bit of family time, to create a paper craft with their children, and to have a lot of fun. I'm also a big fan of escape rooms, by the way. That's why I thought that that way of getting in the Discord channel was just so, I love it. People just have to figure out the way. And during phase 1, it was actually like, I mentioned this before. Mm-hmm. It was harder because there was just this floating tree like going around in circles. And in the bottom, if you could read closely, it said, watch closely. And you could see nothing. But somewhere on the website, there was this little brick that you could click and it would bring up the stereogram to ultimately bring you in the Discord server. And now it's a little bit easier. But yeah, to answer your question, visit subsystem.io, give us a follow on Subsystem NFT on Twitter, and be on the lookout for some crazy stuff.
I want to thank Plushy for joining me on this episode. Be sure to go to subsystem.io. That's SUBSISTEM. What are you laughing at over there?
I'm like, can he do it?
Could you see that I was...
I wanted to say,
yeah. So subsist. I think it was good that he said that it's based on subsist, because now I'm like, okay, subsystem makes perfect sense. But yeah, that was a great conversation. We brought you into Dark Amanda. I don't even know now if that's in the episode or if that's after the chat.
I think it's in there.
Yeah.
I'm like Mickey Mouse, basically, of the NFT world.
But yeah, thanks again for all of your help. And thank you, Plushy, for being on the show. This was another great one.
Also, your girlfriend's ridiculously talented, so
yeah,
keep her.
Yeah, that for that among all the other reasons. But yeah, that the painting on the wall, the Mario painting, is amazing, and just that whole space. Yeah, we're going to be talking to Plushy a lot more, just with everything.
Good.
Yeah.
I might have to put...
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's really good.
That moment, that doing that sort of kicked things off in a way that's so unexpected. I love that. But anyway,
I love it.
Thanks again for listening. This has been Starting Now. I'm Jeff Sarris. This is Amara Andrew.
Hi.
And I appreciate you being here. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. A little thumbs up goes a long way. And I think that'll do it. So we will see you next time.